Hello, welcome to Scr1tno Knitting Project podcast. This is episode 17 and it's Sunday the 28th of April 2019. My name is Sharon. I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog, so I apologise for any interruptions, although they've all been told they need to be on their best behaviour while I sort this out. Welcome. Hi to any new viewers, welcome to any returning viewers. Thank you for joining me today. This is my knitting podcast. I am struggling to talk today. This is my knitting podcast about all my knitting adventures, and I used to have a rolling 6-day whip to get rid of my whips, but I'm off project and I seem to have had a bit of a cast on week this week, so there's lots of cast ons to come. So admin, we have a Ravelry group. If you search for Scr1tno Knitting Project podcast under the groups tab, you will find our Ravelry group. We're a very tiny group at the moment, so I'd really love it if you go and join, and please do say hi in the welcome thread. I do read all the posts. I don't necessarily get a chance to reply to them all, but I do have an amazing moderator, a girl called Katie, and she replies to everybody. She is absolutely fantastic, bless her. So please do come and say hi, join the group. We have 2 knit-alongs going along at the moment. One starting on the 1st of May, and I've called it May Mini Madness, and basically it's a knit along for any scrappy projects. That also includes, if you spin minis, that would be one entry, and if you then knit something with those minis you've spun, that would be another entry. So I do include spinning, weaving as well. If you weave something with minis, brilliant, that would be included as well. So anything made with minis, scrappy projects. Also, Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast is bringing out a mini club in the beginning of May, so that would be a great way of using that and entering with those as well. And my lovely friend Kelly is doing minis that go along with the club. She's dyed some minis, and I will show you later. I've got some. They're absolutely amazing. So yeah, please do come and join us. I've opened the chatter thread for the Mini Madness so that you can tell us what you're doing and what projects you're thinking of, what patterns you're thinking of, what minis. Please do share your minis. So that's open, but I won't open obviously the finish object thread until sometime in May. And the other knit along we've got going is for Stephen West's Penguono. Now, if you're a new viewer, you won't have seen it, but I've been knitting a Penguono and I found it a bit of a slog. Now, not because of the pattern. The pattern's gorgeous, and the yarns I used Woolly Goodness yarns, were also amazing. But I held it triple, so it was 2 fingering weight and 1 mohair, and it was the mohair that got me. I am not a lover of mohair. I love the finished project with mohair, but it just made me sneeze and cough and splutter, so knitting with it not so great. Although I have got a project this week that I have used mohair in, so little bits I'm okay apparently. So yes, if you're knitting a Penguono, if you want to knit a Penguono, please do drop it into the thread. Now there is one thread, just pop your whips are fine, just pop in your whip, pop in a picture of it. We've got, I'm going to run it for a little while. The lovely Hayley of Ducky Darlings was also doing one, and she did it to help me get mine finished. She was encouraging me, and she's finished hers, which is great. So we've got 2 Penguonos that have been born this last month. So please do, if you're knitting a Penguono, if you'd like to knit a Penguono, it's cast on now. Get it in there. Show us the yarns you want to use. So that's the Penguono by Stephen West. So that's my other knit along, and I'm going to probably run that till the end of August as well, so it gives you plenty of time. So that's my admin and my knit alongs. I'm really chatty and caffeinated this morning. My on a Sunday when I record this, I normally have an hour before my shopping order arrives, about 10 o'clock. So between 9 and 10 is my podcast time, and then I get into the rest of the day and doing the shopping order and editing. Only this morning I got a phone call from the Tesco's driver saying, I'm literally just 2 doors down, please can I do it now? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I've been up, I've done the shopping order, I'm on my 2nd cup of coffee. I'm really caffeinated. I apologise if I'm way too happy for a Sunday morning. Right, projects. So I'm going for this in no particular order, and this is my first one. This is a Busy Pottering project bag. It's got little balls of yarn at the bottom, a little sheep at the top. She made this one for me, bless her, because I wanted a sheep project bag. And in here I have got my Understated sweater by Hoki Locatelli. And if I'm just thinking, I might have a photo of it, but actually I think I left it downstairs, which is a bit pants. There we go. That's a photo of the back of it, actually. That's the back of it. So it's the Understated. It's a boxy kind of crop sweater, and it's got ribbing detail across the shoulders. It's really pretty, and I'm doing myself one in Stranded Dye Works Flower Crown colourway. It's a DK weight. There we go. Sorry about the scrappy ball. So it's done in a DK, and oh, there we go. Trying not to lose stitches off my needles. Now this is the top. I've done the top, and I'm now going round and round and round and round on the body. And I'll be honest and say it's going to take me a little while, but it's great because it's now very portable, because it's only just a giant sock, because you're just going round and round and round on it. And I used the tutorial that Grace of Babbles Travelling Yarns did about helical knitting, which is the jogless join, so that I can alternate skeins and you haven't got the line. It's great, fantastic, it's like magic. Now if I can find it, where is it? That's my beginning of round, although bizarrely not the front. There it is. So why is it whenever you go to show something the yarn is always wrapped around it? So there is my little progress marker. That's from Hannah at the Corner of Craft. That was an Easter egg, and it's got little flowers on it. It's so pretty. So I'm going to keep it on this project because it's the flower crown colourway, and that's how much I did this week. It doesn't look like a huge amount, but as you'll see, I've done a lot of other things this week, and also there are nearly 400 stitches going round and round, so it takes me a little while to do a round, but it is DK, so it's growing quite quickly. So yes, that's my Understated, which I absolutely adore. It's such a great pattern. I could totally recommend this. It's from book 6 of the Interpretations series that she's done with Vera Valimaki, and there's so many lovely patterns in it. It's definitely worth getting the whole book, but for me it was definitely worth getting it for this sweater, because I'm definitely going to knit more than, I would say more than one for myself, because I've actually already started a second one for someone else, so definitely going to knit this more than once. So yeah, that's my Understated. So my second Understated, because I have actually got a second one, is living in a beautiful So Sweet violet bag, which is gorgeous. Got a patchwork on that. Oh, it's so lovely. I was very lucky that my friend Kelly got this for me. So it's very appropriate that the project inside here is done in her yarn. So this is Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, and she is going to be going to some shows this year, and very excitingly opening a retail space. So she put a call out for some sample knitters, and I offered to knit her an Understated because I was knitting mine and loved it. I've offered to knit her an Understated, and it's for her lovely daughter Meg, and in her yarn, and Meg wanted a really pretty grey. So this is Kelly's yarn. So this is Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, and that's the, as you can see on that one, it's got a bit of variegation in it. You'll see it more in the project. So I am alternating skeins, and this is the start of Kelly's. So I have done the back shoulder basically. I'm going to be putting the fronts in hopefully this week. It's got a little black cat. I thought that went really well with it. That's also Corner of Craft. I do love Hannah Stitch markers, they're so sweet. And they're really light, so they're easy to have on your projects. There's a little cat there. And I'm using some needles. They're Knit Pro. I want to say they're possibly the Paris ones, but I thought they were rosewood. Are these? What are these? I've got Melodies, I've got Paris, and I've got something else. I'm guessing these are the something else. I can't remember what they are. But I was I was scraping around for 4mm needles, because obviously my Understated needs 4mm needles. This Understated needs 4mm needles, and I have another project I'm going to show you in a minute that also needed 4mm needles. Can't cast on anything else now with 4mm needles. I'm out. That's it. 3 pairs are my limit. So yes, this is the, as you can see, it's got the ribbing on the back, and I am alternating skeins. It's really pretty how it's come out. You can really see the variegation there, so that's lovely. So yeah, I'm hoping to get this done by the end of May. Luckily Meg is a lot smaller than I am, so this is tiny compared to my one. It's not going to take too long at all. So that's my second Understated, and again that's by Hoki Locatelli from book 6 of Interpretations, her book that she did with Vera Valimaki. And yeah, love it. Really recommend that pattern. It's a really fun pattern to knit. So my next new cast on this week, because apparently that's all I wanted to do was cast on new things, is living in my little seaside bag by Busy Puttering. I love this print so much. It's the same one that my Cozy Memories blanket's in. And it's a perfect size for a shawl, and that is what I've got in here. Now this is a new design, and it's by my amazing friend and yarn daughter Laura of The Lonely Knitter, and it is called the Blunderstone shawl. She says, double checking that, I'm fairly certain that's what it was called. Quick look. Bear with. Yes, Blunderstone shawl. So that's by Laura of The Lonely Knitter. I haven't got a photograph of it because there's no photograph on this, but this is how it started. I'm using, this is Hedgerow Yarns. This is actually not attached at the moment. And this was actually a Christmas colourway. This was her tinsel colourway, but I just thought it was really fun and I loved it. And I obviously loved it a lot because it turns out I had 2 balls of it. I do that a lot. If I like something, I seem to buy extra. So yeah, that was lucky. Happy accident. So yeah, that's lovely. Again, it's a DK. It's all about the DK this week. It's all about the DK and Scrappy socks. That's probably going to be the title of the podcast. And then I've got some naked DK from, and I can't remember where I got it from. Hold on, I have an Unwells Shepherd's Hut from Fleece to Fabric. I'll link her in the show notes. It's the Shepherd's Hut DK, undyed superwash merino, nylon, 100 grams, 75/25. It's really nice. It's really squishy. I love it. It's so nice. It almost feels silky. It's blowing out. Sorry. I'll get it to not blow out. Not really. It's just it's undyed. It's cream. It's really pretty. And yeah, that's the Shepherd's Hut. And I've also got, that's the Hedgerow Yarn one, tinsel. So that's the other one, because it takes 2 of each. It takes 150 grams of a DK. So it's going to be a big shawl, which I really want. I want a big shawl. That's really pretty. And then that's how it cakes up. So I did consider alternating skeins on that, but then I thought because it's broken up in sections, what I might do is just alternate sections. So if there is a variation between the 2 skeins, I'll break it up that way. So this is it. This is the start. It's a triangular shaped shawl, and I'm about to go, if I show you there we go. I'm about to go into this section, which is done with the cream on mine, and there's a special stitch in this that I'm just waiting for Laura to give me the instructions for. But it's so lovely. I love how that's knitting up. So I've got a few stitch markers on here. I have got a Hannah Corner of Craft Little Mint Bunny. That's one of her Easter ones this year. I have got a Hannah Corner of Craft Irish Leprechaun, which was from the February club that she does. I have got a little turtle on a bulb stitch marker, who I can't remember who sent me that, I'm really sorry, but there's a little turtle. And then this was also on Hannah's one. There's a little clover, 4-leaf clover, which came with a little leprechaun. So yeah, they're really cute. So I'm loving this, I'm really enjoying this, so just waiting for the next section. And it's a lovely, I could not recommend this pattern more. It's so pretty, look at the detail down the middle. Isn't that lovely, the way that's done? Really pops. And it carries on. Absolutely love it. So that's Laura of the Lonely Knitter. Thoroughly recommend her patterns, they're so good. So I'm test knitting it, not sure when it's coming out. I think she's doing it as a kit with someone else as well. So not too sure when she's planning on releasing it, but we're test knitting at the moment. I don't normally test knit, but I just fell in love with this pattern and asked her if she'd mind if I unofficially test knit it, i.e. please can I have the pattern, I want to knit your shawl, but don't give me a deadline because I might not make it in time. But she very kindly agreed, bless her. Yeah, love it. So that's my shawl. That's the Blunderstone shawl by Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast. But she's also got a podcast. Go watch her. She's fab. So my next project is living in a project bag that I got with an advent calendar, which is not last year, year before, from A Little Bit Sheepish. It's really cute. I love it. Got loads of sheep on it. It's perfect little size for this. And now this is a design project. And it is made with mohair, my famous mohair. This is from a Woolly Goodness. This is some of my leftovers from my Penguono. So yeah. And I have made a little, I haven't sewn my ends in yet. This is the first one. This is part of my Scrappy sock design collection. This isn't going to make the final cut. Just so you know, these aren't going to be part of the collection. But yeah, they've got little mohair ruffle on the top, but I can't get the mohair ruffle to go as I wanted it to go. So yeah, I will keep these ones. Obviously, I will finish the second one. It is on the needles, but that isn't quite how I wanted it to go. But these, I will show you in a minute what the yarn is. This is the second one. Now with the second one, the ruff is a little bit better on this one. Because of the way this is designed, you end up casting on 60 plus 60, so 240. That's not, it's 4 times stitches. So I cast on in using the fingering weight yarn there to give it some stability. But in actual fact, I like the mohair just on its own. So the next one I do, I'm just going to do the plain mohair. Now this one there, I joined in the round and did it in the round, which was really dangerous because I was convinced I'd twisted it, which I hadn't, but I was worried I had. So the second one, it's pear. What I've actually done on this one is I've started it flat. So somewhere here, yeah, there we go. Somewhere here is a join that effectively you will sew up during the sewing up stage, and then I've joined it in the round. So I'm much happier with that, and because I've done it that way, I'm happy to do it with just the mohair on straights. So I'm going to change the design, and I'm hoping to put these out as a little collection. There should be 3. I haven't worked on the third one yet. The first one I'll show you in a minute. So hopefully when I get it sorted, it'll be a collection of 3. And these are little shorty socks. Now this yarn is down Sheepy Lane. The mohair, as I said, is Woolly Goodness, but the actual fingering weight yarn, look at these colours, are down Sheepy Lane. And last Sunday was Easter Sunday, and my lovely daughter bought me some little Easter eggs, calorie-free ones from down Sheepy Lane, and they've got little minis in them. And this one, I've just noticed, has a stitch marker too. There's a little bunny stitch marker in that one. So I've got 2 sets, so that I had a lovely big Easter egg hunt around the house for myself last week. So that's what I'm using. They sort of came like, there was 5 of them, that's 4. And then the 5th one I can't pick up as well. So yeah, lovely little set. So I used that to start this design, but as I said, not happy with the ruff on this one. So I'm going to try it again, but just with the mohair, because I really love mohair, because you know that's really sensible. And I've got these on my 2.5mm licky needles, which I adore. And yeah, I'm working on those ones, shall we say. They're a work in progress, quite literally, more than just a whip. So my next one is living in my lovely duck pool lane bag, which I went out to a restaurant with my hubby on Friday because it was our wedding anniversary. One of the waitresses fell in love with my handbag. She's like, can I keep it? I'm like, it's actually a knitting project bag, but you know, no, you can't. I love it, but I can tell you where to buy them. And in here I have a new cast on, because apparently I'm all about the cast ons. Oh, that's a bit embarrassing, I haven't turned that back around the right way. I haven't sewed my ends in yet, that's why it was still round the wrong way. So I am making a pair of jelly roll socks, which I love jelly roll socks, which is a pattern by Orange Knits, who is Mara Catherine Briner. And I adore these socks. I don't do them quite the same as hers, and as far as she uses 2 colours on this bit and 2 colours on the heel, but I find that's quite tight on my foot, so I don't do that. I just do a twisted rib on this bit and just a normal heel. And so there's 2 colours, and this is using leftovers from my Penguono. So these are both Woolly Goodness in a purple one. So that's that one, and then that's the one I'm using for the contrast at the moment. And then what I'm going to do is, when I finish this pair, so I haven't cast on the second one yet. So look at the toe, isn't that fun? Stripy toe. Now, confession time, I was supposed to do the heel in it as well. I forgot. So this isn't quite how it's supposed to look, but hey ho, I will live with it. And so it's got the stripy top on that bit, and a stripy toe, and it should have had a stripy heel, whoops. So that's sock one. So I'm going to do another one exactly the same as that, and then I'm going to, because I think I'll have enough left over, I'm going to inverse it, and then this will be the contrast and this will be the main sock. And I'm going to try and do that with all my leftovers of my Penguono, and then I will make minis for Advents out of the rest of it. So yeah, so that's my jelly roll, because I absolutely adore these as summer weight socks. I very rarely wear things like sandals. I tend to wear kind of really light trainery type shoes like Vans and things, so I always want a pair of socks underneath so I don't get blisters. So these are just perfect. I love these. I absolutely adore this pattern, so I shall be making loads of these. That's pretty much it this week. It's been knitting scrappy socks or understated sweaters. So again, that's the jelly roll socks by Orange Knits, who is Myra Catherine Briner on Ravelry. I will link it in the show notes. I'm going to have a lot of show notes to write this week. Normally when you do show notes, all you have to do is copy and paste it from the week before, because most of it's the same. This week is completely different. Everything's new. Loads of show notes. So my finished objects for this week are my ruffle socks. Now this is my pattern, and there are 2 of them. There we go. Little shorty socks. This will be part of the collection. and it's got a little double ruffle on the top there, and then they're just a plain sock underneath. And this is done in a set from Lay Family Yarns. This is her Lay Family Yarns and Friends set that she does once a month, and this was January. Sorry about that. This was January's and was done with Fine Fish Yarns. It was her friend for this, and it's so pretty. And I haven't done them exactly the same, but I have used all the yarn that was in the set in both the socks. I haven't used all the yarn, but I've used a sample, an example of each of the yarns in there. I just love them. They're so pretty. I want lots of these as well as lots of jelly rolls. They are a bit time consuming doing the ruffle, but not as time consuming as doing it in the mohair. Just saying. So it's just got a round toe, heel flap and gusset. Oh, and it's got a garter heel on the bottom. Now that's the one, that's the right one. It's just got a small garter heel. This one I got a bit carried away on my garter heel. I'm not doing that. I'll show you that side. I'm not doing that on the pattern. That's too long. So that's the right one. So yeah, that's the garter heel. So hopefully once I've got the second one perfected, the third one shouldn't take me too long, because I was going to try and keep that one fairly simple. So yeah, that's my finished objects for the week. So I've done quite a lot of knitting this week, but not on any of my, you know, normal whips at all. They're all just sitting here looking at me going, oh, do you not love me anymore? So that's my socks, my design. Haven't quite decided what I'm going to call them yet. So at the moment they're just called design socks. Oh dear, anybody got any names for them? Please do leave a comment below. Naming things apparently is the worst part of this. So finally, it's my cozy memory blanket time, update time on this one. Oh, that's ominous. That means I'm in the middle of a square. I did not finish my square this morning. That's what happens when Tesco's comes early. So, no I didn't. I am using signature needles for this. 2.5mm signatures. I bought it some special needles because it's a special project. Let's pop you in there for a moment and go back in your case. And okay, so it's going to make life a little bit difficult to show it, but okay, we'll have a go. So apparently there's 8 days since I last showed this. I'm not quite sure how that works out. I'm guessing that must have been last Sunday's, and I was either hadn't done it or was halfway through it. But that is, I think that's down Sheepy Lane, that one. So I was working on that last Sunday and it's down Sheepy Lane. This is Strawberry Fields. And then, because I finished my Scrappy socks, these are all of these ones here are the Lay Family Yarn and Friends minis from January. Now, that one, and that one, they are all, sorry, that one and that one are all Fine Fish. So they were her colourways. And then that one, and the one I'm working on there were Lay Family Yarn. So pretty. So that was them all together. So I've got a little bit left over from those. Here we go. That's what I had left over with that bit. So they're going to go for Advents, for Friends, for Christmas. So they do quite a bit, really, if you think about it. I've got a pair of shorty socks out of it. I've got a square on my blanket, and I've got enough left over to gift to someone else. So that's great. Katie, you so know they're coming to you, don't you? But yeah, so that's my cozy memory blanket. I'll show you a full thingy of it next week, but because I'm halfway through that, that's not going to work really this week. It's going to be very difficult to show you. that's my line for this week. So I'm still on track. I'm still doing a square a day. Sometimes I get interrupted out of it, like this one. So what I will probably do with that is either finish it off in the morning, or I will try and rapidly do it whilst I am editing, or I might even do it in a moment while I'm chatting to you lot, because that might work too. Okay, so purchases this week. Every couple of weeks Jane from Hedgerow Yarns does a mini set. We're on set 34 and set 35 now, and I try and grab them if I can, because I'm just missing set 20. Unfortunately I missed out on set 20, but I have the rest, because I absolutely adore her minis. So these are her minis, and I'm using them in my Stitch in Time, which was going to be cushion covers but is now a blanket, so I'm kind of glad I've got quite a few of these. But they're so pretty. I love her minis so much. I want to do my third pair of design socks. I want to do in my leftovers from my advent calendar from Hedgerow Yarns. So I love hers so much. So they're my minis I got this week, and it came with a little friend. It came with a little tiddler. It's really pretty too. Love that. So yeah, that's Hedgerow Yarns. Try and show you her label if I can. There we go. So that's that. Now Woody Goodness had a sale this week, and I wanted a little project bag to keep in the car as my emergency sock knitting project in my husband's car. I've got one in my car, and she's got this little unicorn bag, and we're unicorn balloon team, so I just thought, do you know what, I've got to get a unicorn bag to go in the unicorn balloon team retrieve vehicle for those times we're waiting around on a launch site and I've forgotten my knitting, which doesn't happen often, but it does happen occasionally. And in there I have got some little minis. They're so pretty. Very Eastery colours, weren't they? I love them. So they're living in there. I don't think they're going to live in there permanently. I think I'll probably put proper sock, a stripy sock yarn in there, which I've got of hers, for the emergency. But now, as you know, I'm on a bit of a scrappy sock kick at the moment, and I'm loving doing the jelly rolls. And Jenny, who's Woolly Goodness, that's her label. There we go. So cute, that shape, isn't it? Woolly Goodness Yarns did a rainbow midi set. They're 50g skeins. That nearly dropped in my coffee. That would have been a disaster, wouldn't it? Okay, I might have to show you kind of these a bit at a time, because there's so many of them, and they're at least, oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. There we go. She's done a rainbow 50g midi set, and I am going to use these to make a combination of loads and loads of different jelly rolls. So you're going to see a parade of jelly roll socks at some point in the near future. It's going to be all about the Understated and the jelly rolls for the next few weeks. But they're so pretty, her colours. So I got those. And then this one I'd been eyeing up in her shop, which is a merino silk 4-ply, which is 75% extra fine merino, 25% mulberry silk. And I just absolutely adored it. So that is going in a shawl. Really pretty. And she had some stitch markers. I really like her stitch markers. So, well, I should say progress keepers and stitch markers. So there's a little sheep. A little panda. This is a progress keeper. And as I found out this week, you can never have enough, because I couldn't find half of mine when I needed them. I love this one. This is a flamingo. And a little leaf. Okay, that's a progress keeper. So pretty. So I'm going to keep them with my jelly roll kit there, and then always get a little card and a couple of little ones as well. It's so pretty. So yeah, that's Woolly Goodness this week. And last but no means least, my friend Kelly of Lay Family Yarns has done a rainbow mini set. I'm sorry I'm not taking this out of the plastic because I don't want to muck up the order. So that's them. They are gorgeous. She has some sets left in her shop at the moment. She has a this is the pastel set. I think there's two slightly darker sets. I can't remember which called them, but they are gorgeous. I'm so tempted to buy the other two. So tempted. Literally going, you don't need any more minis, but I mean, these are just gorgeous. So I'm going to keep this for a cast on for my May Mini Madness salon. And finally, another Lay Family yarn. This is Vintage China in her 75 superwash merino nylon in her DK, which I am going to make a cardigan out of. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love her Vintage China colourway anyway, but on DK it's just super special. It's so lovely. And I have 7 or 8 of these, can't remember how many, which my darling husband has bought me as a wedding anniversary present for our wedding anniversary on Friday. Bless him. So I'm going to make a cardigan out of that, but obviously not. I've got to try and not, well, I was about to say I've got to try and not cast this on until after I finish the Understated. Until I get one of the Understateds finished or the shawl finished, I can't, because I haven't got the needles. So, but yeah, I love it. So pretty. So that's Lay Family Yarns. I'm not sponsored by Lay Family Yarn or Woolly Goodness Yarns, but I do rather adore their colourways and their yarn. So that's it for my purchases this week. Yeah, that's probably enough, isn't it? Oh dear. And then it's next week. Next week's club week, isn't it? Wow. Do you know what? I haven't done any of my squares on my... Oh, that's awful, isn't it? I haven't done any of the squares on my mystery blanket by Debbie Abrahams. I haven't done any of my April squares, because I normally show them. Oh, whoops. That's not good. I hadn't thought of that, but I haven't done any of those squares. Oh, it's not because I don't love the blanket either, because I do. I need to get on with that. If I could just have a month off of work and knit, that would be cool. However, talking of which, I guess this is segueing straight into life stuff, isn't it? I did a quick rundown on the week. Obviously it was bank holiday on Monday, so that was nice. Had a nice quiet day Monday. Tuesday we're back to work, but no guides because we were still on break. Wednesday we're back to work. Thursday I worked from home, but again didn't have brownies in the evening because we were still on break. And then Friday was our wedding anniversary, so we go to a really lovely fish restaurant in Shoreham, which is a little way from where we live, called Into the Blue, and if you like fish I could so highly recommend it. It's such a lovely restaurant, but you have to book majorly in advance. We went in February and booked our table then for our wedding anniversary, so that was lovely. And I've got some footage that I will try and include if it's not horrendous, because I haven't watched it back yet, of our trip down there in the sea. So that we did on Friday, and then yesterday I didn't really do much, to be honest. It was just a household day. Excuse me, keep looking down. I am knitting my square. Just because, you know, I can. So yeah, that was last week. Nothing really remarkable happened. The girls are all fine. They're all doing job interviews at the moment, except for my eldest. But my eldest is about to go on holiday, which leads me into next week and next week's podcast. Just as well, it's club week next week, because I probably won't have a huge amount of knitting content. My week next week is Monday night. So Monday I'm working. Monday night I've got a district meeting for guides. Although if I don't think they'll object if I take a sock with me to knit there, so that's okay. I could probably take a sock with me. Tuesday I am working full time. So I normally work 9:30 till 4, but I will be working 9:30 till 5:30. Then Tuesday evening I've got guides. Wednesday evening I'm full time. I am home Wednesday evening. Thursday it is hubby's birthday, so he's out and about, but I'm working full time and I have brownies in the evening. You just see the pattern arising here. And then Friday again I'm working full time in the office, which is normally Friday is my day off. So next week I will be not having an awful lot of knitting time, is the long and the short of that. That's going to be great. I am also going to be exhausted. So just as well next weekend is club weekend, because at least I'll have purchases to talk about even if I don't have an awful lot of knitting. Now this is because my eldest is going on holiday on Wednesday, so she's got Tuesday off as well. And because I work with her, when she has time off I cover her, and she has full-time hours, so I work full-time. So that would be absolutely dead next weekend. So next weekend I don't plan on doing anything other than knit, so I actually have some content for the podcast and then record the podcast on Sunday. Then Monday she's still off till Wednesday, so Monday I am full-time, Tuesday I am full-time, and I have guides. Wednesday I am full-time, and Thursday I go on holiday. So yeah, I'm literally going to be running at 110 miles an hour now until I go, and presumably at some point during all that I need to pack. Now the podcast, when I'm away, my thoughts are, if I've got decent Wi-Fi, I will try and record on a Sunday as normal. Sunday morning I will try and put a podcast together and maybe include some footage of what we've been up to during the week, whilst at the end of it we're going to Wales for 2 weeks. We've got 1 week in North Wales and 1 week in South Wales. My family all come from Wales, and I'm going to go and visit some of the childhood haunts, which will be fun. And we're staying in a Sykes cottage for one of them and an Airbnb for another. I think it should be really good fun. Okay, the weather could go either direction. It's Wales, but can't wait. Really looking forward to it. May very well visit some yarn shops. I've got a couple written down. Yeah, if anybody can recommend any yarn shops, good yarn shops in either North Wales or South Wales, really. We're going to say in Portmaddock in North Wales, and in the Porthcawl area in South Wales. Can't remember exactly where it is, where we are in South Wales, but it's near Porthcawl. So yeah, can't wait. Should have a fair bit of knitting those a couple of weeks. There'll be lots of car knitting. Hubby's a willing driver, thankfully, because I'm not. And I also get to go and see my lovely friend Kelly from Lay Family Yarns for a day as well. So it's yeah, can't wait. So in a way, working full time on the lead up to my holiday, I think probably makes the holiday that bit extra special, because you're really going to appreciate the time off when you've worked that much. So next weekend you may have to bear with me. There will be a podcast. I would imagine there'll be a podcast. If I've really got no knitting, then there's probably not much point in me doing one, but I will warn everybody on Instagram if that's the case. I will probably know a bit earlier if that's going to be the case. Yeah, so hopefully there'll be a podcast next week. That's the long and the short of all that rambling. If you're still stuck with me this long, thank you so much. Oh, I was going to mention podcasts. I forgot the podcast section. So I've watched a few this week. The Hairy Sheep absolutely adore them. Emma and Rosie are mother and daughter, and I have 3 daughters and none of mine are interested in the fibre arts really. My eldest dabbles in crochet but not very much. So seeing a youngster so enthusiastic about the fibre arts is just such a delight, and they're lovely, so sweet, and Emma's lovely. She sent me a message this week and she pretty much made me cry. She's a real sweetie. Katie of the Geordie Knits podcast, I watched her, she's lovely, and her boys are such live wires, bless her. And then Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast, I've watched her this week as well. She's amazing. Who else have I watched? I've watched the Crafty Toads. They've been doing a floss tube, which was interesting. I should have written down the list, shouldn't I, of who I'd watched. I've got a feeling there's somebody that I'm missing that I really wanted to mention. It's always the way, isn't it? No, it's gone. But I've been watching Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful doing her April vlogs, and they've been brilliant. Thank you, Ali. If you watch this, thank you so much for doing them. I've really enjoyed them. It's been brilliant. They've made my morning on a few mornings where I've woken up and just watched that whilst I've been knitting my square. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it from me this week. I think I've rambled long enough. Long one this week to make up for like the 5-minute one next week. Anyway, I hope you all have a good week wherever you are. Take care. I'll see you next week.